Something else I want to talk to you about today is stubbornness. If something if you're hard-headed, if you're like, "Oh no, this is what I am and this is what it's going to be till the day I fall out and that's just what it is," but you're not adapting and evolving, that hard-headedness is useless stubbornness. If you're going to do the same thing over and over again and expect different results just because that's what it is, that's stubbornness. That is a severe mark of unintelligent behavior. If you cannot adapt, if you cannot evolve, if you cannot put your ego aside, if you cannot allow yourself to change in any way, shape, or form, even for your own personal growth, that is the kind of stubbornness that just the world sees you for what you are: unintelligent, unevolved. It's just that you're not willing to take any advice from anybody, even when it's good and you know it's going to be good. That's stubborn. If you're not going to allow yourself to get better because this is what it is, blah 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 blah, that's stubborn. That's unintelligent. That's you're never gonna grow. Fine, that's your choice. That's fine, but keep it over there. Here's my kind of stubbornness. I am consistently growing, adapting, evolving, learning new, getting better. I am completely just engrossed in my own journey of personal growth and development. I am completely obsessed with helping other people realize their greatness. I want to help people. I want to help the world. I want to change the way things are done. And I work for that every day in some way, shape, or form, even if it's just lending an ear for a friend so they can talk to me about some stuff and maybe make a joke and put a smile on their face. Even if that's the only thing I do that day is put a smile on somebody's face, I consider that a win. Sometimes I might say some off stuff just to be funny, just to put a smile on somebody's face, but I like helping people. That's me. That's who I am, and I am stubborn about that. Anytime anybody is giving me advice, I consider the source. I don't just blindly follow advice from all directions and expect the best to happen. I consider the source. I am a psychic. I am an intuitive. So I read the person first. I read their energy, their actions, the pattern they've established of themselves for themselves. I take all of that into account before I take any guidance at all. If you're a friend, you want what's best for me, and I know that, and your advice is solid, I'm going to take it. I'm going to use it. And whatever comes of it that's good, I'm going to share with you. If you're trying to guide me or lead me into nonsense or darkness or whatever chaos, you're going to get a straight up no. I'm not doing that. I call it like I see it. I tell it like it is. I'm brutally honest, even with myself. And I don't want chaos, so I don't invite it in. It shouldn't be that difficult to understand. You shouldn't have to really wonder so much why I fired all those people from my life, why I got rid of them, why I stopped talking to them, communicating with them. It's because I learned who they are. They established a pattern of lies, deceit, and chaos. And I just don't want that in my life. So I separated them from my life. I put them out of my existence. I closed off telepathic connections. I just moved on so that I could personally elevate and help others that wanted help and do the right thing for the right reasons. This is not that complicated. It's not that serious. All of the things that have been going on Like it seems like the more I separate myself from all of it, the better I get, the better I feel, and the more good things that come into my life as a consequence of that. So I have a certain goal, I have a certain set of goals and a certain trajectory, and I choose to follow that upward, onward, forward movement, clarity, emotional balance. I like to teach people things. I like to show people things. I like to give new perspectives on situations or with problems that they consider unsolvable. And I usually have the right perspective, the one that gets the job done. I am very intelligent. And I don't just use my normal intelligence quotient intelligence. I integrated consciousness with that intelligence. And I have a way of translating and articulating that which I get from my expanded consciousness into this physical reality. That's what channeling is. That's what being a bridge is like. And I just do it for some very high level players, because my opinion is noted, respected, and everybody knows that my intentions are pure. Everybody knows that my source is source. It's not me praying over a candle. It's not me praying over a book. It's not me diving into ancient texts and, I don't have an altar. I don't do ritualistic practices. The closest I get to ritualistic practice is meditation and prayer. That's it. That's it. I get my divine guidance from divine sources, not divination, divinity. And it's because I do walk the walk, and because I am on my personal growth journey, and because I do work for the divine. I choose to integrate my spiritual life into my average everyday life all day as much as possible. I don't ever ignore my intuition in any situation. But I also do what I gotta do, because the fact of the matter is I still exist in the earthly realm. I still have my physical vessel being in 3D physical reality. I have 5D consciousness. I have 7D energetic consumption. So I'm bridging a lot of different realities into one. That's what doing this work is. That's what doing this work is like. And sometimes I am connecting to sources and forces that are, we'll call them very, very valuable and meaningful to Earth's expansion and growth. Very, very qualified as guidance from advanced civilizations to help Earth shift and grow. And I've been using that guidance and that knowledge and that wisdom to help people grow beyond what's been a reality. And that's just part of what I do, but my intentions are pure. That's why I have those connections. My mind is clear, so it doesn't get lost in translation. I can easily articulate it or absorb it and revibrate it out energetically or even through my voice, because our voices have power. If you don't understand how this really works, everything is vibrating at all times. So every time you speak, you emit a vibration, and the universe responds to that with energy. It's equal. It's give and take. So if I make a command out to the universe, this is what I want, this is how I want it, I'm gonna get that thing. If I'm bringing thought to word and I want something to happen, I'm using my voice to commit that act. That's part of manifestation. But I don't ever use that to prey on somebody's downfall. I pretty much just pray my pain away. Like, I give it to the divine and let them handle it and move on about my day, because I need to maintain my clarity and my cognizance, because I work for the greater good.